In this fic, Izuku has a quirk that can turn him into a lion. Here's the description. And the tags. To keep Izuku safe from Hisashi, Inko drops Izuku off with a pride of lions in Africa and tells Izuku to never transform back into a human, to just stay a lion, because that's his quirk, and so he does. And then he grows up with this pride of lions, kind of like in the Jungle Book, except with lions, I guess. After he's, like, I think 13, like, the tour guides and people start realizing, this lion has green eyes. I think it might have a quirk. And then they find out that it's actually a boy with a lion quirk. And then Aizawa comes in. We get some Dad Sawa. Izuku figuring out how to be a human again. Shinso shows up. It's a super cute fic. I really love this one. There is a sequel to it also, but it's incomplete yet. I think the author is still working on it, so it's not abandoned or anything. It just hasn't. It's few and far between that it gets updated. So, but this fic is very cute. I love it. Here's a fun little crack fic for you. 6,000 words. Corgi Zuku. Zuku gets hit with a quirk that turns him into a corgi, and so obviously Shigaraki sees him and is immediately like, a dog! Here are the tags. It's so freaking funny. Izuku is like, how do I escape the League of Villains, and how do I get turned back into a human? And causing havoc on All for One. And Shigaraki's just like, you're so sweet and I love you. At any time Izuku does something terrible to All for One, Shigaraki's just like, oh, he's just being a puppy. Oh, he's so cute, you know? It's just so funny. I love this fic so much. I love Katsuku so much. Here are 3 Katsuku fics. This one, with our paws and claws, both Aizawa and Izuku get transformed into cats. Izuku gets turned into, like, I think it was a jaguar cub, and Aizawa gets turned into a panther. And most of this is just fluff. It's great. Here are the tags. It's so cute. Aizawa is so protective of Izuku, like, seeing him as his own cub. And it's like 90% fluff, and I love this one so much. This one's a longer fic, and this one, Izuku has a transformation quirk, and he hasn't learned how to control it quite yet, so he transforms into a cat when his dad is being an asshole, and runs away, and can't figure out how to turn back. It's 124,000 words. Here are the tags. More tags. Anyways, Aizawa ends up finding him as a cat, thinking he's just a cat, brings him home, takes care of him, and then finally, eventually, Izuku gets Aizawa to use his quirk on him, and he turns back into a boy. And he's just like, hi, I've been living with you for the past 3 months, and I'm not actually a cat. Anyways, Aizawa ends up adopting him. Super cute. And then he learns how to transform into other animals, goes into the hero course. It's a great fic. I really love this. And last but not least, this one is only 8,000 words, so it's a little bit shorter. This one is The Stray, and instead of Izuku having a cat quirk, he's a cat with a boy quirk. Like, basically, he's a cat, and then eventually, when he's around, like, a month old or something, after staying with Aizawa, he eventually gets a quirk that turns him into a boy. So, Aizawa is just like, well, I guess I have this cat who is also can turn into a human, and it's funny. Lots of fluff. Here are the tags. Yeah, definitely recommend this. It's very cute. All 3 of them are really cute. So if you like Katsuku, read any one of these and you'll be happy. If you couldn't tell from my updated profile picture, I love Rabbit Izuku, okay? I don't know why, I just do. So here is some Bakudeku. Izuku gets hit with a quirk that gives him, like, bunny ears and a bunny tail, and Bakugo cannot handle it. This one is also Bakudeku, which, if you like Bakudeku, I highly recommend Merryweather Weather. They make some great Bakudeku fics. This one is like an alternate universe where there's like werewolves and things, and so Bakugo is a werewolf and Izuku is a were-bunny, and so the reason it's wrong is because one's a prey were and one is a predator were. And Bakugo knows that Izuku is a prey animal or whatever, but Izuku is trying to hide it and is like trying to make sure that no one figures out that he's a were-bunny, and it's great. I love this fic. I forget who it was, but someone recommended this to me a while back, and I finally got around to reading it. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love this fic so much. It holds a special place in my heart now. Just because, like, it's so beautifully written. The ending was so beautiful. It just tied everything together perfectly. Like, I love endings where it's not just like, oh, what's gonna happen next? I mean, this one was kind of like that, but it was just like, it was beautifully concise, and it just tied everything together perfectly, and I loved the ending, okay? Shota is a cat, okay? So he's a cat with a quirk, and it starts off with Shota, like, literally opening his eyes as a kitten. Like, that's where it starts. And he has a quirk, and then Enko adopts him when he's, like, a kitten. And then, so basically, you're just following his life as a cat with a quirk, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and it's so cat-like in the way that, like, Shota sees the world, and the way that he does not understand humans at all. And then eventually, right before, like a year or so before he would have entered UA, he gets hit with a quirk that turns him into a human. And so now he's a cat in a human's body, and he's like, what the heck do I even do here now? And he hates it so much. But Hisashi helps him with that after he finally gets into UA. Because Hisashi and Oboro are both weird, so they don't care that Shota is weird. And it's great. Shota's relationship with Nezu is my favorite thing. Like, when he first meets Nezu, that was amazing. Oh my god. I loved it so much. And oh my god. Just Katsuki and... Sorry, that sounded so weird to say. So Bakugo and Izuku, like, stay friends because of what happens when they're little, and Shota being like, Bakugo, shut the fuck up. Izuku thinks the world of you. Don't even get started. And it's great. I love this fic. I love that Shota, like, basically calls up Nezu and is like, I have to kill All Might. He's threatening my brother. And Nezu's just like, okay, let's do this. And All Might's just like, I'm right here. What? Anyways, it's a great fic. Definitely recommend it so much. This is one of my favorite tropes. I love fics where, like, people get turned into cats. Like, I don't know. I've posted most of the ones that I've already had, like, most of my cat quirk fics, but I have so many that I could probably make another video or two on just cat quirks. But this one is villain Eraserhead, hero Mike, and Mike doesn't realize that Eraserhead has a crush on him, so he's so confused as to why all of his friends are like, oh yeah, Eraserhead is this terrible villain, when he never puts up a fight for Mike. And so when Mike gets turned into a cat, he sees Eraserhead, like, on the street, and he's just like, oh yes, a friend! He can help me. And then Eraserhead takes care of Mike, and it's very cute. This one almost made me want to start reading the Warrior Cats books, because I've just never read them, and I wholeheartedly believe that if my library had the Warrior Cats, like when I was growing up, I would have been a Warrior Cats kid, but they didn't have them, and we were too poor to buy new books, so I just missed out on that, I guess. But this one, Izuku and Eraserhead get turned into cats and like stranded out into the woods, and so they have to make their way back to UA. And so Izuku is this little tiny kitten trying to keep up with Aizawa, and Aizawa having to protect him from like random wild animals and stuff, and it's very wholesome, and I love it. This one, Izuku gets hit with a quirk that's supposed to turn him into a cat, but instead of turning him into a cat, it turns one of the past users, the first user of One For All, into a cat. So now he just has this white cat, and Izuku's dad comes home, who happens to be All For One, and so the first user as a cat obviously hates All For One, and it's so chaotic, and I love it. This is a Shin Baku fic. Shinso gets turned into a cat because Monoma is being a dick and tries to like pull a prank on Shinso, and so he gets turned into a cat. And so while Shinso is a cat, he finds Bakugo, and Shinso realizes how touch-starved he is, and Bakugo is just loving that this cat is not afraid of him, you know? And then it's very cute, kind of angsty. Oh my gosh, the ending was so good. But yeah, it's a great fic. In this fic, Izuku is a rabbit with a quirk. Like, he's just a bunny with an intelligence quirk. And so, like, Nezu obviously likes him because he is also an animal with a quirk. And it's just, this fic is like 90% crack. And I love it. I love it so much. There's obviously like a little bit of angst, you know, but it's mostly crack, and I love it so much. I love that Izuku basically makes friends with everyone. Like, even the villains, he will make friends with literally everyone. And except for the Hero Commission. The Hero Commission does not like him because he takes down Endeavor, Izuku does, and so then they're like, we just lost our best player, you know? Like, he was a great soldier who did whatever we asked him to, so now we're mad at Izuku. And so, but obviously all the other heroes love Izuku because he's literally just a bunny who will kick anyone's ass, but also is like super cute and fluffy and just wants to make friends with everyone. And I love that so much. Also, like, Bakugo is like his best friend and / like caretaker, because like Izuku grew up, like, his burrow is in Bakugo's yard, so like Bakugo like likes, like, is best friends with Izuku. And I just remembered one scene because it's minor Kiribaku, like, it's just like a side, like, background quest is the Kiribaku, and you're literally reading this one scene and you're like, Izuku, sweetie, sweetheart, I know you're an animal, so you probably don't understand humans that well, but they weren't wrestling. Yeah, people don't wrestle without their clothes on. Like, they weren't wrestling. Anyways, yes, read this fic. You know, I always say to myself, I'm not gonna post fics that aren't completed, because, like, that's a rule that I generally try to stick to. I don't post fics that are completed, but I just love this too much. Too much, I love it. Coming to you live from my new apartment, a girl who's no longer in danger of being homeless. In this fic, unrelated to that, Aizawa and Mike go hiking, or they go camping, right? And as they're camping, they find something digging around in their trash, and they're like, what is going on? And it is a little wolf who is also a child. Like, it's so cute. Izuku has a wolf quirk, so he can turn into a wolf. And he's feral because he's been living in the woods for years. So he's a feral child. And it's so fun watching him get into shenanigans while they're trying to, like, teach him how to be a human. It's so cute. I love this fic so much. In this fic, Izuku has a snake quirk, and so that gives him like venom and stuff, and he's found living on the streets by Mike and Eraserhead, gets adopted by them, and then it's just his story of like becoming a hero with a villainous quirk, because like his venom can kill people, so it's like, ew. But it's a really cute fic. I really like it. I'm alive! I have not posted since January. I'm sorry, guys. But I'm back. And this is a really short fic, and I am in no position to ask anyone to make a fic longer, but I need this fic to be longer because it is so cute. I love it so much. Izuku has a hyena quirk. And he finds Aizawa, and Aizawa adopts him, and it's classic, just Dad Zawa adopting Izuku, and it's everything you could want. And I just think, like, this author never misses. I love this author so much. Anything that they write is just amazing. So I know that they have the ability to write this longer and so well, but I'll take what I can get. Read it.